went to law firm representing Individual 3. Individual 3, former Trump campaign staffer, subpoenaed in documents case. Payment came from Blanche's firm. Invoice dated 4 days before Individual 3's grand jury testimony. Individual 3 testified. Memory suddenly fuzzy. Couldn't recall key meetings. 2 weeks later, payment clears. Prosecutors noticed, started digging, found shell company registered in Delaware, Blanche listed as managing member. Company formed September 12th. Same month, subpoenas went out. 11 transactions, total $2.3 million, all to witnesses' attorneys or family members. Fallout? Bar Association already investigating, federal charges filed, disbarment proceedings likely within 30 days. Now, the obstruction count. Page 89, paragraph 14. Defendant directed Individual 7 to delete signal messages and factory reset mobile device. That's destruction of evidence. Individual 7 complied, initially, but backup existed. Cloud storage, Blanche didn't know about. Messages recovered, timestamps intact. One message, November 3rd. Tonight's conversation never happened. Clear this thread. Another, November 8th. New phone. Use this number for anything sensitive. Digital forensics recovered 127 deleted messages. Not opinions, screenshots in the filing. Witness tampering charge stems from those. Then there's the coordination allegation. Blanche held meeting, Miami office, January 19th. Attendees, 4 witnesses, all facing subpoenas, different cases. Meeting purpose, according to one participant who cooperated, get our stories straight. Participant wore wire, FBI authorized. Recording captures Blanche saying, DOJ's building obstruction case. They're looking at communication between you all. Best strategy, minimize what you remember. 73-minute recording, transcribed, attached as Exhibit F. That's coordination. Federal statute clear. Influencing witness testimony in pending investigation. Felony. Bondi's team has recordings, financial records, cooperating witnesses, and digital forensics. That's not circumstantial. That's documented pattern. What pushed this over? Blanche allegedly contacted witness after that witness received immunity deal. Witness had flipped, cooperating with prosecutors. Blanche called, suggested witness reconsider cooperation. Call recorded. Prosecutors viewed that as intimidation. Arrest came 72 hours later. That's just the first document. Subscribe, I'm not done. Bondi's team filed supplemental evidence yesterday. Haven't seen it covered yet. More coming on this. Okay, but look, gotta be fair here. The defense has a point. Few points, actually. Legal ethics attorneys say this prosecution is problematic. And honestly, some of it holds up. Their argument, attorney-client privilege being stretched thin here. Blanche represented these individuals or coordinated their defense. Normal attorney behavior. Communications between co-defendants' lawyers? Standard practice, not coordination legal strategy. Defense attorney Alan Dershowitz put it this way, this criminalizes defense work, dangerous precedent for all attorneys. Don't agree with all of it, but that's not nothing. What they've got, no witnesses testified falsely. Payments could be legitimate legal fees. Signal deletion is common security practice. Even former federal judge Nancy Gertner admits line between zealous advocacy and obstruction can be razor thin. Look, I'm not here to tell you who's right. Prosecution's interpretation, without producing a single named co-conspirator, and that the bipartisan outrage is really just Democrats finally finding a wedge issue that sticks with the MAGA base. And honestly, some of it holds up. Their argument. First, the subpoena itself was procedurally messy. The House Oversight Committee voted 24.19, but the chairman, James Comer, didn't vote for it. The guy running the committee didn't want the subpoena. That's not nothing. That tells you something about internal Republican doubts. Second, Bondi wasn't freelancing. She took her cues directly from Trump, who made it known inside the administration that the files contained his name and he didn't want them out. Multiple sources reported this. Even Trump's own chief of staff, Susie Wiles, told Vanity Fair that Bondi whiffed at the task. But the question is, whose task was it really? Former federal prosecutor Robert Ray, who handled the Whitewater investigation, put it this way on cable news. You can't hold the attorney general responsible for executing a policy she was directed to follow. Don't agree with all of it, but that's not nothing. What they've got, Bondi was confirmed, served the president's agenda, and was fired for not being aggressive enough, not for misconduct. The DOJ's legal argument that the subpoena dies with her title has at least some precedent. The accidentally released documents were produced by DOJ staff, not by Bondi herself personally pushing a button. Even the committee's top Republican, James Comer, admitted, "I don't know what is going to happen." That's not exactly a ringing call for accountability from the guy in charge of the investigation. Look, I'm not here to tell you who's right. The accountability interpretation, evidence supports it. She promised transparency. She delivered redacted binders of already public documents. Congress passed a law to force compliance. DOJ still withheld 2.5 million documents. A federal judge got accidentally handed sealed material. That's a chain of failures with her name attached. The loyalist interpretation? Evidence there too. She was following orders from a president who openly told her and reportedly told Marjorie Taylor Greene, "My friends will get hurt if this stuff comes out." She didn't create the policy. She implemented it. Both can be true. That's what makes this complicated. What I can tell you, what the documents show. And they show that the DOJ under Bond handed Congress material it never should have had. And now there's a former attorney general dodging a subpoena while that document sits in committee files. This didn't come out of nowhere. Backstory.quick. Months before her firing, Bond goes on record telling reporters she has an Epstein client list sitting on her desk to review. Those were her words, on camera, to reporters. She said she had a lot of information ready to release. Weeks later, DOJ releases what they called the first phase, millions of pages. But buried in there, tens of thousands of documents previously made public that the DOJ then quietly removed from public.
He said the fight was not over and threatened a global tariff in response.
Every president has specific things they like to focus on. And I work for two, I know this. Certain issues or beliefs or campaign slogans that they will go back to over and over again. But there's only one president that I know who has taken to such a liking to one particular word, a single noun from the English language, which he seems to prize above all else.
It's called tariffs. I said my favorite word in the whole dictionary is tariff. I said tariff is my favorite word in the whole dictionary. I said my favorite word of every word is tariff. I've loved it for 40 years. My favorite word in the English dictionary is the word tariff. One of my favorite words is the word tariff. My favorite word is the word tariff. My favorite word, tariffs. I said tariff. My favorite word is tariff.
It's like he's grunting it out. It's his favorite word. That's clear. Nobody loves tariffs, it seems, more than Donald Trump loves tariffs. It's why, against all reason, Trump blanketed the world with steep tariffs, arbitrarily and chaotically driving up prices for millions of American consumers. And it's why today, when an aide walked into a meeting between Trump and a bunch of governors and handed him a note saying that the Supreme Court had struck down the vast majority of his tariffs, Trump went ballistic. I mean, immediately after that meeting, Trump held a hastily assembled press conference to mourn his precious tariffs. I mean, again, it's like the lighting in there is a funeral of sorts. I've never seen it lit like that. Over the course of 45 minutes, the American people got to watch him experience basically all 5 stages of grief live on television. I mean, there was stage 1, denial.
I have the right to do tariffs, and I've always had the right to do tariffs. The Supreme Court's decision today made a president's ability to both regulate trade and impose tariffs more powerful. I don't think the court meant that. I don't think the court meant it. I don't think they meant that. I'm sure they didn't.
They didn't mean it. Lots of denial. Now, of course, there's also stage 2, anger.
They're against anything that makes America strong, healthy, and great again. They also are a, frankly, disgrace to our nation, those justices. They're just being fools and lapdogs for the rhinos and the radical left Democrats.
There was stage 3, the form of bargaining.
I want to be very well behaved because I understand the court. I understand how they're very easily swayed. I want to be a good boy.
I want to be a good boy. Okay. There was stage 4, which is depression.
The Supreme Court's ruling on tariffs is deeply disappointing.
Okay, from the video, I don't have much to say. Now he has been arrested. Let's see what will be happen next. I'll keep informing you. Just subscribe, like, and follow for more global talks and truth. Let's meet in another video. Thank you.